Thank you all for the opportunity to share with you a little bit about what we're passionate about at Quantiscope. So we are developing AI enterprise suite for applications in the life sciences, including preclinical drug discovery, biomanufacturing, quality control, and others. And I'll tell you a little bit as we go on about how we're doing that. First, let me introduce Juan Caicedo, who's the brainchild of our technology, sourced at the Broad Institute of Harvard and MIT. He started his career really in computer vision, working at companies like Google, and then transferred into the Broad Institute that knowledge for applications in biotech. He formed his own lab within the Broad Institute to broaden some of the work being conducted at the Broad in this space as a leading institution and pioneer in cell painting and other applications in the preclinical space, to broaden the application, to broaden the types of biological experiments and the types of morphologies that we can look at and analyze for the commercial space. So what exactly are we doing? When I talk to non-drug discovery or non-biotech audiences, I liken this to facial recognition technology, where as little as 60 nodes of a human face has opened up all kinds of applications in cybersecurity and health, and e-commerce, and we're shrinking that down to the level of the cell, and even structurally smaller than that within certain types of therapeutics. And we can analyze the phenotypical changes, say, for instance, in a cell in response to a cellular perturbation like a potential drug, and we can map that and determine, when you're looking at very large libraries or data sets or potential therapeutics, what the best potential drug is, or in a biomanufacturing process, if you've successfully loaded and manufactured or a particular type of drug for broad commercial upscaling. And we're plugging that into a suite and a dashboard in which teams can interact, plug and play, and make informed decisions within their space. How we do that is we're essentially extracting data at the level of the pixel. And when you're talking about high content microscopic images, you have millions and millions of pixels there that can create a lot of information. We like to talk about a picture being worth a billion data points, and that's what we're doing. We're drawing out all of those data points and modeling those in a way that can really help make decisions, can streamline this space drastically, and really produce better drugs and better processes. What's out there right now is a hodgepodge of open source tools and commercial tools that teams typically string together without a lot of expertise. There aren't a lot of computer vision scientists in-house at biotech companies, in academic labs, and in spaces where this type of information would be important for process validation. So we're combining that into a plug and play type of dashboard, and then wanting to add in several features, which I'll talk about in our partnership ask. The way that this would be expressed, as I mentioned, in a type of dashboard where many eyes can interact with this type of information for the best possible takeaway. So we are currently in the pilot stage with some top 10 pharma partners looking at both preclinical drug discovery and bioprocess manufacturing. We launched through the federal BARDA program because of the federal interest in upscaling rapid response to biosecurity concerns and pandemics, but we want to work with as many pilot partners as possible, looking at different application opportunities of this type of technology and the way that we can incorporate this into our commercial product. So thank you again for the time and hearing a little bit about our company.
Thanks, Kevin. Great. Again, a reminder to post your questions to the chat and indicate the startup. So can you highlight just a couple of points as a summary of how your technology is unique versus anything else that people might have heard of?
Sure. So one thing to think about is that we're complementary to a lot of the AI companies in this space who are more on the chemical or structural design. So when a complementary AI company is presenting to a top pharma a library of 2 billion potential therapies, for instance, within a particular molecular class, they've got to funnel that down somehow and pull out the 2 or 3 to push into actual clinical studies. And we can be that funnel. So we can be complementary to a lot of companies out there. Another thing to think about is that our code is only as good as the data partnerships that we have. And so that's why we launched through the federal part of program to really get into those federal and particular agency partnerships where we can use some select and interesting and proprietary data sets to further build our code and build our commercial applications. And the last thing I'll say is that we are trying to broaden the different types of modules that we can offer through our company, so that if someone's really focused on process manufacturing and quality control, we can offer that in the same way that we could offer some preclinical applications.
Great, thanks for that. And how are you working with corporates right now? Like, what's a couple of first steps that you're looking to follow now?
Yeah, so it's really about building out the different ways that our dashboard can scale and getting as much feedback as possible. So in different environments, different organizations, different sizes of organizations, different focus areas, what's important to a potential customer, what types of interaction do they want to have, what types of information do they want to import into that type of dashboard. So all those opportunities are golden for us right now. So we're looking for any pilot opportunities we can get.